Hello students, welcome back to our experiment of differential WBC count part 2. As I have already discussed with you about various introductory part, like we have discussed about types of WBCs, granulocyte or granulocyte, their structural features. Then we went on seeing various reassessment of our knowledge. Then we have done about the techniques which are used for smear formation. Then I discussed with you about various types of the parts of the microscope and their role. And now we are coming to the actual experiment. As I told you, there are 3 steps in the differential WBC count. One is preparation of the smear, second is staining of the smear, and then actual counting of the cells in the smear. Let us start with the first. Now procedure for the finger prick. You have to select a finger or a thumb on your non-dominant hand and then clean the tip of a finger with an alcohol wipe. Then you hold your hand below the level of your heart and use your dominant hand to massage the digit from the hand to the tip so as to assist the blood flow towards the tip of your finger, and then give a strong prick so that a blood drop will ooze out of the prick portion. The first drop you have to wipe off because it may contain more of the serum. The second drop you put against a slide. So this is how you're going to place a drop 1 to 2 centimeter from one end. Keep this gap. Okay, don't put the drop of the blood exactly near the edge. You keep some space of around 1 to 2 centimeter. Now you're going to use another slide. So place the another slide. This will act as a spreader, and you have to put it at an angle of 30 to 45 degree. Move your spreader in a backward direction towards the drop. So the drop will form a line of a blood across the edge of your spreader. And then once it has formed a complete line across the edge of the spreader, you have to push your spreader in a one stroke ahead. Don't do it with intermittent strokes. Otherwise, there will be gaps in the smear. You have to do it in a one continuous stroke so that uniform smear will be formed. Let's understand once again step by step. Here we have put a blood with anticoagulant, keeping a distance of 1 to 2 centimeter. Then this is a spreader which is put ahead of a blood drop, and it will be pushed backward like this so that the blood will form a thin line across the edge of the spreader. And now comes a very important step, that is we have to take that thin line of the blood ahead along with your spreader so that it forms a smear, uniform one single layered thick smear over the slide. So you should understand all these 4 different steps. You have to practice so that you can form a good smear. Here I have given the example of a bad smear and a good smear. In bad smear, you can see that the candidate has not given a one uniform stroke. He has halted in between, and you can see there is a spacing which has occurred, because of which maybe the cells pile up on each other, and the smear which you observe under the microscope is very thick, and you cannot identify the structural features of different types of WBCs clearly. Whereas if you look at this smear, it is uniform, the smear is very thin, there are no gaps in between, and therefore such smear will give you a good identification of this cell. This will, student, you can acquire this skill only after practicing number of smears. Then we can go ahead to the second step. The second step is staining of a smear. Now different types of the stains which are used are the field stain A and field stain B. The field stain A is methylene blue and the B is eosine. I have already in my part 1 told you that eosine is red in the color, methylene blue is blue in the color. This is an acidic dye and this is a basic dye. Eosine will be taken up by the granules in eosinophil and methylene blue will be taken up by the granules in basophil. Whereas both the dyes will be taken up by the granules present in the neutrophil, and therefore the granules will appear purple. So we are using a fixator which is a methanol. Why are we using methanol? First we have to dip our smear into methanol to fix our smear to the slide. Otherwise it may get disrupted while handling, and therefore first we have to fix our smear uniformly, and that is why we are using methanol. Now when we are using a methanol, this is what you will be following. You dip your slide into a jar containing methanol. Ensure that your entire smear is dipped into methanol solution. Keep it dipped for 5 seconds. Then take it out and hold it over the filter paper in this direction as shown in this diagram, so that the methanol which is there excess on the surface will drain out. At the same time, excess methanol will also evaporate, being an organic solvent, and your slide will become dry. Once it is dried, then you are going to start with the staining. You immerse that fixed smear slide into first dye, that is filled B solution, which is eosin. So here in the B solution, the slide is dipped in such a way that the entire smear is covered, and you will put it in a dip position for 5 seconds so that it stains the same. After staining is over, you are going to dip the slide into a water to remove the excess of the dye. Take out after washing and put it in a slanted position across the filter paper so that excess water will be drained out over a filter paper. Now you are going to put the same slide into filled A solution, which is our methylene blue solution. Here the time for which you have to keep your slide immersed, ensuring the entire smear is dipped into the dye for a period of 10 seconds. After 10 seconds are over, you take out this slide, dip it into the water to remove the excess of the dye, take out of the water, put it in a slanted position across the filter paper so that the water will get drained out. Now since we have stained the smear with both the dyes, acidic as well as the basic, both eosin as well as the methylene blue, both red as well as a blue dye, your smear will appear purple in the color. Let it dry completely. Since we are going to use oil immersion objective, we will have to put a castor oil on the surface of the slide so that the lens remain immersed into the castor oil. The angle of refraction will increase and the cell size will get magnified so that we can study the structural features of each type of WBC and will do correct identification. So now we are coming to the third step of differential WBC count, and that is counting of WBCs. After putting oil on the smear and after putting it under an oil immersion objective of 100x, the smear will appear somewhat like this. In this smear, you can see there are some cells which are unstained. They are rounded with some concavity at the center, and they are RBCs. We are not going to count RBCs. We are going to count these bigger cells which are stained. Like here you can see beautiful basophil, where as I described you, there are coarse blue granules because it is taken up methylene blue, and therefore it is termed as a basophil. It has taken up basic dye, and you can see the nucleus is almost invisible because it is submerged below the granules. So this is a basophil. Neutrophil, you can see there are multi-lobed nuclei. At the same time, multi-lobed nucleus is there, and there are both the types of granule, acidic and basic granules are present. They are very fine and uniformly distributed. So this is a neutrophil. Look at the eosinophil. Here you see two lobes, but the granules have not taken up blue color. They have majorly taken up a red color, and therefore this is eosinophil. Whereas there are two agranulocyte. This is a kidney shaped nucleus, the biggest cell. The nucleus is not located centrally, and therefore this is a monocyte. Whereas lymphocyte, the nucleus is circular, round, is located exactly at the center, and this is a lymphocyte. Now moving on to our experiment. Here we are using a web scope. So the smear will appear like this. I have here provided you an observation table in which you will be doing your recordings as you go on identifying the cell. And then you will count each individual, total count of each individual type of WBC will be entered over here in this column, which will automatically calculate the percentage, and you will even get the percentage values. Now let us start with our experiment. Here I have given you a link, so you click over here and you will enter into this web scope. Here there is a smear present, right? This is how you will observe under the microscope. The smear will look like this. Now we have to assign a position from where, or a starting point we have to decide. Suppose I decide my starting point over here. I take up this rectangle on the right hand side. I can see at this side there are many pigmented cells which are present. So on the backdrop of millions of RBCs, you have to actually hunt for the stained WBCs, right? But the way you will perform it experiment is in a systematic manner. See, now my square is located over here. This is my starting point. So I will go on scanning it vertically downward. Then I will move to the right hand side and I will scan vertically upward. Then again I will move to the right hand side. I will come vertically downward. Look at the pointer. So this is how in zigzag manner I will scan my entire smear and will try to identify various types of WBCs. I can see that in this area of the smear there are many stained WBCs. So I can drag it at the center. I'll get it at the center. And now I can increase a magnification so that I can observe these cells very clearly. I can look into their structural features. And I will be able to identify these cells. So here you can see, let's talk about first these cells, these three cells. They all have multi-lobed nuclei. They have a purple colored granules in their cytoplasm. So undoubtedly they are neutrophils. I have number of neutrophils because we have already seen that around 50 to 70% of the neutrophils are present in the blood. So obviously you are going to get more neutrophils. Let us count how many neutrophils are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and here 11. So I have total 11 neutrophil. I will go to my table and I will write N, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 neutrophils. I'll come back to my smear. Now there are other types of the cells also present. Let's talk about this type of a cell. It is rounded in shape. There is a nucleus which is also rounded and is completely covering the cytoplasm. So this is my lymphocyte. I will enter it over here as a lymphocyte. Coming back to my smear, I will now look at this cell. Can you observe this cell? This cell has a bilobed nucleus. And I'll make it more clear. This has a bilobed nucleus But look at the granules. The granules are reddish brown in the color. So this is a eosinophil. So I will enter over here in my table as eosinophil. Coming back to my smear, I can see this cell is very big in the size. At the same time, it has a dent in the nucleus also. It is not exactly spherical, and therefore I will enter this cell as a monocyte. Coming back to my smear, I will again slide it up because I have to go vertically downward. I'll drag it up and I will look for some more cell. This is the cell, but it is irregular in the shape, but we can see there are number of blue coarse granules which are covering up the nucleus, and that is a beautiful basophil which we have come across. So here I will add it as a basophil. Again I will drag it up. I'll look for a stained cells. There may be some dead cells which might be also stained. I will not consider them. And I'll go on scanning. You can see this is moving downward. I have to scan that portion completely. And here I find one beautiful neutrophil, because this is a multi-lobe structure and there is a purple colored granules. So I will come here and I will write it as a neutrophil. I'll go ahead. There are many here. There are many cells. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4 neutrophils. There is a one lymphocyte. So there are 4 neutrophils. 1, 2, 3, 4, and one lymphocyte I have got. Okay, so almost all types of the cells I have shown to you. This is how, students, you will go on scanning your entire smear. There is a beautiful lymphocyte you can see over here. Complete spherical nucleus, big nucleus, and I can enter it as a lymphocyte. So this is how you will go on scanning your entire smear. As you go on scanning in a vertical upward and then vertical downward and then vertical upward, you will come across number of cells. Total cells which you have to count are 100 cells. So you have to fill up this table. Make sure that you don't again look into the same portion. Like suppose I have come here. Suppose I would have reached up to this position, right? And now I have counted these 2 neutrophils. Suppose now see, this is something beautiful here. I can see that there are 2 lobes, but it doesn't have those red color granules. So this is also neutrophil. This is not eosinophil, this is neutrophil. So these both are neutrophils. So I can enter over here that I have got 2 neutrophils while scanning. So what I was explaining to you is that when I come to this end of this edge, now I will move my cursor to the right hand side. Like I'm moving it to the right hand side. So it's moving to the right side. Okay, fine. So it has moved to the right side. And now I have to move again up, because I have scanned this area. Now I am scanning the area parallel to it. So now I will drag it down because I have to move up. See, I have seen here one lymphocyte. So I will immediately enter it here, lymphocyte. Again I will come back to the, again I will drag. This is not any peculiar type of the cell. It may be a degranulated cell. I will move up. I will again move up. Again move up. And that is how, students, you will go on scanning. While scanning, as you come across different types of the cells, you are going to note it down into your observation table, and that's how you will complete. See here I have got one cell now. That is again a neutrophil. So I will again enter it as a neutrophil. So that's how you will go on scanning the entire smear. You will make the entry of all 100, entry into all 100 square. That means you are counting total 100 cells. Then you will count how many neutrophils are there, and you will enter your number. For example, I have got 67 neutrophils. Then you will enter the number of eosinophil. For example, I have got 3 eosinophil. Then I have got 2 basophils. I have got say around 21 lymphocyte, and I have got around 7 monocytes. So automatically I am getting the percentage of it. Total 100 cells I have counted, so I make sure that yes, all total 100 cells I have taken into consideration. I have got a percentage. I have got 67% of neutrophil. Does it fall in the normal range? Yes. I have got 3% of the eosinophil. Is it falling? Yes. I have got basophil falling in the normal range. Yes, 0 to 1, slightly 1, it is above. Lymphocyte 21%. Yes, it is also falling. And monocyte 7 I have got. It is also falling between 2 to 6%. So here I have done the entire recording. I have submitted my result, and then I will move on to the next assignment. This is again to ensure that have you really identified the cells correctly or not. So here I will go to the smear. I will identify the cell, identify which type of the cell it is, and therefore what I will do, I will label my cell. For example, here I can text what it is. If I text it as monocyte, fine, this is a monocyte. I will click on done. I'll check my answer, and yes, okay, my answer is correct. Now I will move to the next, which is this type of, you can see over here, the red granules. So we can annotate it as a eosinophil. Done. Check my answer. Yes, it is eosinophil. Okay. Now this is a multi-lobe structure. Both the granules, pink as well as the red granules, I can annotate it as a neutrophil. Done. Check the answer. Yes, it is a neutrophil. Correct. This is a beautiful basophil. I can annotate it. Done. I will check the answer. Yes, it is okay. So that's how we can solve. Only the last one is left. This nucleus is, and you can solve this as a lymphocyte where the circular nucleus completely submerging the cytoplasm is there. So I'll go here, I'll label it, I will write the name, that is lymphocyte. I'll do it done. I'll check my answer. Yes, it is a lymphocyte. So that's how I can solve the assignment. I can ensure that yes, my identification is correct. And this is your entire assignment. After completing the experiment, after solving all these quizzes and assignments, you have to submit me the assignment. So you have to just commit your assignment, and you will be able to submit your report. After committing, you won't be able to edit it, and I'll be checking your experiment, and accordingly your experiment will be graded. If you have any doubts regarding this experiment, please mail it to me. I'll try to solve the queries. I hope that differential WBC count experiment you have understood. In virtual lab, how it has to be performed and how to report your results also you must have understood. So wish you a happy learning. Thank you.